How to use more chest and less wrist when chipping and pitching. Hi, I'm Ken Martin, PGA member and golf program instructor here at Keiser University's College of Golf. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe by clicking the button below. So we're talking about chipping and pitching, and consistent contact is what allows us to control distance when we're playing both of those short game shots. So a chip shot, just so that we're on the same page, is a shot that flies very low and it rolls the majority of the distance to the hole. So in this scenario, if I'm going to that far flag, my goal is to land it just on the green and let the ball roll the rest of the way. We'd play it that way simply because it's easier to hit a target that's closer to us than take a big swing. Sometimes we're forced to take a bigger swing if we have to go over something, and we call that a pitch shot. So a chip shot would look something like this. So a low flying shot, landed just on the green and then ran the rest of the way to the hole. Pretty good distance there. A pitch shot would be a little bit bigger swing because I'm having to carry the ball further. But again, the only way that I'm going to make that happen, the easiest way to make that happen, is just use a more lofted club. That was a 6-iron. This is a sand wedge. So I have to make a bigger swing and carry the ball further when I'm playing a pitch shot. And that's a perfect example of why bigger swings can be a problem. I hit that a little bit thin, and now it goes too far. So a chip shot is a shorter swing and much safer. So one of the best ways that you can practice making certain that you get better contact is to use more chest and less wrist. So I'm going to have you come around over here, and we'll talk just a little bit about the bottom of the swing arc. So golf clubs are swinging up in the air, they're swinging back down to the ground, and then they swing back up in the air. And in order to gather the golf ball out of the center of the club face, which is about 4 grooves up from the bottom, we have to gather the golf ball on a descending angle of approach. And what that means is that we will hit the golf ball on the descent. These two T's represent where that bottom of that golf ball is resting. The ball will be compressed and it'll launch up into the air, and the golf club will then go on to brush the grass in front of those T's. Because when we're playing chips and pitches, we don't have a lot of speed. Rarely do we take much of a divot, but the ground contact needs to be after where the golf ball is setting. So the easiest way to make that take place is to use a little bit more chest at rotation as opposed to wrist. So what happens here, if I set up to play this pitch shot with this sand wedge, and I use my wrist to create the speed, the bottom of the arc can get dangerously close to coming into the ground too soon, causing fat shots. Or it's possible that I could actually bottom out here and bounce right up into the golf ball and actually blade it over the green. So a simple way to think about this to keep the hands and wrists out of it is to use the center of your chest as the swing center. So I feel like I've connected my arms to my chest, and what I'm going to do here is actually use my chest turn. In the beginning, I'm going to set the chest just slightly forward of where the golf ball would be resting. I'm going to use upper body rotation to take the club back. So we could say arms and shoulders take the club back. And then I'm going to use my chest rotation around this way in order to bring the golf club forward. And what that does is it virtually ensures that the bottom of my arc each time will be forward of where the ball is resting. So I'll hit a couple. From this face-on view, you'll be able to see what that action looks like. The setup with my chest slightly forward, weight towards the lead leg, handle slightly forward, and then use the chest as the motor for the swing. And you won't see much wrist action in this because it's a short swing, and this allows me to create enough force to be able to get the golf ball to go where I want it to go. So more chest, less wrist. One of the best ways to work on this is to use something between your arms. There's several different practice aids out there. This one I've used for quite a while. It's called the impact ball, where you can actually set it between your forearms and then grip the golf club. And you can make a couple practice swings, again, with your intent on moving the chest to move your arms. By using arm pressure to keep this ball between your arms, it really quiets down the wrist hinge, and you can get the feel for using your chest to create the forward swing momentum. So more chest, less wrist for chipping and pitching control.